we documented some defects. So let me explain these defect report template usage. You remember the template? Just a second. Note on this defect report template. Defect report template. Better you note down this template in your notebook so that when you refer the notes, you can understand the template. So what is the first column here? For every defect, we have to assign a number, defect number. Defect number is the first column. Defect summary is the second column. Defect description, and the defect is reproducible or not, reproducible steps. For every defect you encounter, you need to update how serious it is to the end user business, called defect severity. Once you report a bug to the developer decides the order in which bug to be rectified, assign the priority, and what is the current status of the defect status, whether it is resolved, to be resolved, or closed, or postponed, or rejected, something. We'll discuss about all statuses. And who identified the bug? Detected by. When the defect is identified, detected date. In which build the problem was recognized? Detected in build number, version number. The developer name whom it is assigned. When the defect is rectified. Finally, when it is closed. Generally, for every template, you can maintain a column called remarks or comments. So this is your defect reporting template. First, have this template. I'll explain and I'll give the notes about all important components of the template. Take it. Defect report template. Take this template. The first column, defect number. Defect summary. Defect description. Reproducible, yes or no. Reproducible steps. Defect severity. You're noting this? Noted already? Okay. Defect priority. Defect status. Detected by. Detected by. Detected date. When the defect is identified, detected date. Detected in version. Detected in version. assign to, fixed date, and date of closure. Lastly, comments. Comments is not a mandatory column. Any template you can have a column called comments to update some remarks. Right. Now let me explain how to use this template. Here I am testing Primus Bank application admin module, that is assumption. In the admin module of this Primus Bank application, while testing the dashboard functionality, all links are working. When I click change password, we are getting some runtime error. Let me teach this template, explain this template by recording this defect. For every defect, we have to assign a number, defect number, say defect 1. For every defect, we have to assign a number, defect 1, defect 2, defect 3. The last number indicates how many defects are encountered till now. Defect summary and defect description. In the summary column, you need to explain precise, very brief details about the defect. By referring the defect summary column, we should be able to understand where is the problem, where actually the problem is. We encountered an issue, change password is not working in admin module. Admin change password not working. I updated like this. First, I'm explaining my developer where is the problem. There is a problem at admin change password. Admin change password not working. Now the question to the developer, okay, admin change password not working, he said, tester said. What is the actual problem? Not working meaning the link is not available, link is not clickable, link is not responding, the link is showing some other wrong page, or it is showing a runtime error. There are different possibilities, right? So in the next column, defect description, you give more details about the defect. What exactly the problem you are going to describe in the next column called defect description. I use summary column to explain my developer where is the problem. There is a problem at admin change password. I use the next column defect description where I document more details about the bug, what exactly the problem is. Defect description. When we click change password in admin module, system displaying or displayed some runtime error. Hope these three columns are clear, right? I guess you do not require any notes about the three columns. A running serial number assigned for a defect is called defect number. Brief details about the bug you have encountered is called defect summary, summary of the defect. More details about the defect, explaining what exactly the problem is called defect description. In the titles itself very clear what they are: defect number, defect summary, defect description. Let us talk about what is this reproducible. Reproducible meaning reproducible. When you encounter a bug, you are encountering the bug, you are facing the problem every time. The bug is occurring every time. It is called reproducible bug. Maybe some scenarios, I click a link, it is responding and showing appropriate page. Next time I do not know the technical reason what is happening. When I click the link, same link, it is taking too long time to respond, finally showing page cannot be displayed. In one scenario, this is working. In the other scenario, same link is showing some runtime error. As a tester, I do not know what is the technical reason, what is happening inside. So there are possibilities like this. What is the importance of the column reproducible or not in the template defect reporting template? Why to have this column in this template? Supposing I encountered a bug which is not coming every time. Sometimes the functionality working, sometimes same functionality throwing a runtime error. But as a tester, I do not know what is the technical reason. I encountered a defect which is not coming every time. I documented it, send it to the developer. When you report a bug to developer, at least one time they will have a cross check, right? If the developer want to resolve the issue, first they need to understand the problem. You reported a bug which is not coming every time. Developer had a cross check. Oh, I received a defect. Let us verify. But fortunately, this time it is working. I said I reported a bug which is not coming every time. Sometimes working, sometimes not working. I reported it. Whenever a tester reported a bug, developer will have a cross check to understand whether the received defect is a genuine one or not. First of all, developer need to understand the problem, then only they can able to resolve the problem. In order to understand the problem, whatever the defect they have received, they will have a cross check. Developer is cross checking. Now this time it is working. It's working. If you are a developer, what you will do? I reported a problem. This link is not working. You had a cross check. It's working. Generally, if you are a developer, what you will do? You reject a bug. You reject the bug. But here the problem is sometimes it is working, sometimes it's not working. If I have a column reproducible yes or no, when I am reporting a bug which is not coming every time, I will say clearly I mentioned reproducible no. What is the meaning of reproducible no? It's not coming every time. So clearly you updated to developer, this problem is not coming every time. Developer will have a repetitive check. In one instance, the developer also will face the problem. Sometimes some defects may occur every time, some defects may not occur every time. So better to have a column in the defect report template to inform the developer this problem is coming every time, this problem is not coming every time. We maintain a column called reproducible, yes, reproducible, no. Hope you understand this component. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So admin change password bug. What do you want me to update? Whether it is coming every time, reproducible or not? Yes, it is reproducible. It is reproducible. Reproducible steps. A tester encountered an issue. I know the navigation where I encountered this issue. Rather than simply reporting a bug to the developer, if you list out the procedure, steps to produce a bug, these are navigation where we are getting this error, where we are getting this bug. If I list out the steps to produce a bug, you are reporting this bug to developer. In order to understand the received bug, developer also will follow the same navigation whatever you have listed. In this way, developer can quickly understand the reported bug. By giving reproducible steps, you are helping your developer in understanding the bug quickly. You give a short navigation, So the developer also will follow the same steps to understand the received bug. Launch the Primus Bank application. Launch Primus Bank application. Login as admin. Click change password, something like this. You give a simple navigation, not in a very detailed manner. Just you are giving some short navigation to the developer. Here is the problem coming. Hope you understand this column also. Then, defect severity. A tester identified some issue, admin change password not working. This I am communicating, reporting to my developer. While communicating the defect to the developer, inform the developer how serious it is, the impact of this bug to the customer business. How serious the identified problem to be updated here. It's called defect severity. It's very high severity. The other possible severities are, some defects may take high severity. Few defects may take medium severity. Few defects may take low severity. Yesterday we encountered another issue, inappropriate message. Instead of displaying username password cannot be empty, it is showing invalid username or password. Finally, it is not allowing to log in when I leave the username password blank. It's not allowing to log in. Functionality wise, there is no issue. But the message is inappropriate, low impact. Really, it is allowing me to log in, very hard. See, you have to assess, you have to judge how serious this problem to the customer business. As you know the requirements well, you know the customer requirements, customer expectations well, you, tester, is the right person to decide how serious it is to the end user business. If I give this option to the developer, developer will say all are minor issues. We know the customer expectations well, we know the requirements well, hence we are the right people to decide the severity. It's high severity issue, major issue, it's minor issue. Generally major, minor. We classify in real time, very high, high. High, very high, almost same. Very high, highest issue. High, medium, low. These four classifications we follow for classifying the defect severity. Very high severity, medium severity, low severity. Why these many? Supposing I am following simply two, high severity, low severity, totally 40 defects are encountered. 20 high severity, 20 low severity. How many are high severity? 20. What to be resolved first? High, okay. 20 are high. In this 20 are high. If this 20 further I classified into very high and high, first programmer will focus on very high. For that reason, for ease of work point of view, high can be further segregated into very high, high. Low can be further segregated into medium, then low. Defect priority we are not updating, we are not filling. We leave this column. Who will fill this column? Developer. Your job reporting a bug, explaining the severity about the bug to the developer. Is my discussion completed? Defect priority we are not going to fill. Priority we are not going to fill. We are reporting the bugs to the developer. While reporting a bug, we are going to inform the developer how serious it is. Let's say you reported 10 bugs. You reported 10 bugs. Developer need to resolve 10 bugs. How many? 10. What developer will do now? Tend to be resolved. Developer decides. It's online team. What developer will do? First, he assign the priorities. What do you mean by priority? Okay. While writing test cases, we have updated test case priority. What is that? While writing test cases, we have updated a column called test case priority. What is that?
High, very
How
high.
important?
How
How
important the test case to execute?
Execute.
Who is executing test cases? Tester. Who will
Tester.
decide what to run first, what to run next? Tester, we decide.
Tester.
Test case writing job, test case execution job, tester job. Hence, we are updating the priorities. You reported 10 defects to developer. Who is resolving the bugs? Who decide what to be resolved first, what to be resolved next?
Developer.
Developer will assign the priorities. The order in which defects to be rectified is called defect priority. What to be resolved first, what to be resolved next, what to be resolved next, what to be resolved last. Very high priority to resolve, high priority to resolve, medium priority to resolve, low priority to resolve, least priority to resolve. Developer decides the priority. Very high priority, medium priority, low priority to resolve. As developer fixing the bugs, developer decides the priority. Right, now here. Why we have two columns here, severity and then priority? Listen, in our application, we are testing one application, the logo is not properly visible. Logo colors are not bright, not good. Logo properly not visible. There is a company title in the home page of the product. There is a spelling mistake in the company name. In place of E, A is given. There is a spelling mistake, small spelling mistake. The question, what is the severity of this bug? Logo not properly visible. There is a spelling mistake in the company name. Listen again. Severity meaning the impact of the problem to the customer, business, end user, system operations. Severity meaning how badly it is impacting the system for usage. Spelling mistake in the company title will disturb the usage of the system?
No.
Logo not properly visible, application is usable, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Severity wise low, but immediately they have to be rectified. Priority is very high. Severity low, they will not impact the usage of the system, but client mindset point of view, I cannot convince my client in the next verse I am going to resolve the logo issue. Immediately it need to be rectified. Severity low, but priority would be
High.
Similarly, we are working on an agile model or incremental model project. This week we are giving the first version to the client with only module 1. Next week we are giving the second version to the client with module 1 and module 2. Totally 2 modules. This week we are giving the first version to the client with only module 1. Next week we are giving the second version with module 1 and module 2. Almost 2 modules are constructed, even test case also ready. I asked my team members, you test module 1, you test module 2. Anyhow, next week there is a second release. Only 1 week of time available. 2 modules are ready. 2 modules test case also ready. But the times, shipment schedules, delivery schedules planned in this way. This week we release version 1 into the market. Next week we release the next version into the market. Say, I asked my first team member, you test module 1, you test module 2. In the module 1, she encountered one minor issue. Minor issue in the module 1. She encountered a major issue in module 2. The 2 defects are reported. One minor issue, module 1 issue, major issue in module 2. The 2 bugs you reported to developer. Which problem developer will resolve first? Module 1 issue is minor issue. Severity low. Module 2 issue, major issue. Severity high. But though it is high severity, another 1 week of time available for releasing the second version. developer focus will first go to the module 1 box. So in this scenario, one defect, high severity but low priority. The previous example, low severity but high priority. In some scenarios, 90% severities, priorities will be the same. Mostly defect severities, defect priorities are directly proportionate to each other. High severity, impact of the bug is huge, immediately programmer will rectify it. Impact of the bug is less, programmer will buy some amount of time to rectify it, mostly. But in 1 or 2 cases, this may change. This is what I said. Logo not properly visible, severity low but priority very high. A major issue belongs to future release module, not immediate release. Major issue, severity high but priority would be low. In some cases, severities and priorities may change. For that reason, we have 2 columns here. Otherwise, only 1 column is enough. Understand the point? Understand the point? Right. So, defect severity, defect priority. Severity decided by the tester. Severity explains how serious the identified problem to the end user. Priority will explain the order in which bugs to be rectified. Priority decided by the developer because developer fixing the problems. In mostly, severities and priorities are directly proportionate to each other, 90%. 1 or 2 exceptional cases, low severity defect may take high priority, high severity defect may take low priority. For that reason, we have 2 columns here. Clear about this? Must ask an interview question. Explain defect severity and defect priority. Give an example for a defect that takes low severity but high priority. Give an example for a defect that takes high severity but low priority. First, I'm explaining the entire template. I'll give the notes for all these important columns. So, till this point understood? One of the important area for manual testing interview, defect report template. Interviewer has many options to post many questions here. What is defect severity? What is defect priority? Can you explain? One must ask an interview question. Give an example for a defect that takes low severity but high priority. Give an example for a defect that takes high severity but low priority. Low severity but high priority. I'll give the notes for this. First, let us complete the remaining columns. Defect priority we are not going to update. Developer will update, but to understand the template I am updating here. P0 meaning very high priority. Priority 0, P1, P2 and P3. Defect status. Defect status explains what is the current status of the defect. What is the current status of the defect in the development process? See, consider one banking business system, loan management system. A customer inquired for a loan in a bank. They record all the details about the customer who inquired for the loan, customer name, contact number, email ID. Lastly, they maintain a status about the loan. It's a new inquiry, inquired otherwise. Every day they receive many inquiries, loan inquiries. Let's say today there are about 20 inquiries are received. The 20 new inquiries are forwarded to next level. At this moment, what is the status of the loan? Just inquired. They will be forwarded to the next level. The next level person will verify this person is eligible for the loan or not. Eligible, approved. Not eligible, rejected. Now this person wanted more details from the customer about the loan processing. Hold. Hold meaning not accepted, not even rejected. We need some more, maybe IT returns XYZ from the customer. Hold, temporarily, pending. Once they get the details, if he is eligible, approved, not eligible, rejected. Something like this. Totally, there are about 200 records in the database. Last 1 week, the bank received about 200 inquiries. Now the manager would like to know how many are approved, how many are still in pending status, hold status. How they come to know? For every record, lastly, there is a column called status. They filtered. Approved. It will filter and show only approved loans. Hold. It will show only pending loans. Similar way, we are recording many defects while working on a project testing. Say till now, last 1 week, 40 defects are encountered. All 40 defects are documented. How many are resolved? How many are to be resolved? How many are already closed? How many are postponed? How many are in pending status? Your senior person should be able to track it or not. Supposing I don't have a column called status. How you come to know how many are already closed? How many are work is happening? How many are rejected or how many are postponed? Supposing you don't have a column called status. Totally 40 defects are available in the database. How we come to know how many are resolved, how many are to be resolved, how many are postponed? Will you come to know? For that reason, for every defect, we maintain a column called what is the current status of the defect? What is the status of defect 1? What is the status of defect 2? What is the status of defect n? So defect status indicates what is its current position in the development process. Any defect, initially status would be new. It's a new defect. Every defect, initial status would be new. All new defects you report to developer. Developer will verify received defect is a valid one or not. What is the guarantee you reported a valid one? You reported a bug. What is the current status now? A tester reported a bug, a new bug to the developer. What is the current status now? New. Any bug, initial status would be new. All new defects are reported to developer. Developer will have a cross check. The received one is valid one or not. Yes, it's a valid issue. Developer change the status from new to open. In some companies, in place of open, they use a word in progress. What is the meaning of open? Developer accepted, started working on it. Work in progress. Not yet completed. Is fixing, not completed. Open meaning developer accepted, working on it. Initially new. Developer verified, accepted, open. Developer resolve the problem. Developer resolve this problem. Change the status to fix. Open meaning developer accepted the bug, still work is happening. Fixed meaning the bug is fixed by the developer. If the bug is fixed by the developer, what he will do? Retest. If correctly fixed, supposing this problem already fixed, properly fixed, we retested, yes, correctly resolved. We change the status to close, file close. The file close, defect close. Initially new, developer accepted, developer resolved it, you retested. No, not correctly closed. Developer said problem resolved, but not properly resolved. Again, reopen the case. Reopen is the status. Till now understood? Initially new. You reported to developer. Developer verified, no, it's not a bug. It is requirement, not a bug. Developer changed the status to rejected. What is rejected status? Supposing I am a developer. You reported a bug to me. I verified. No, it is not a bug. It is a requirement. No deviation. It is a requirement, not the deviation. Developer saying that it is not a bug. You are saying that it is a bug. Reported to me. No, it is not a bug. It is a requirement. Developer rejected. Developer not agreeing your defect, status would be rejected. Now, if the developer rejected a bug, how you respond for this situation? Another important interview question for the experienced people, for the working people. How many of you are working here? How many of you are working here in testing? Didn't understand my question? Not working?
Yes, sir. Work.
Confidently answer.
Yes, sir. We are.
Your mind, inner, the way you behave, the way you speak, you are working.
We are working.
Which company you are working? Capgemini. Through Amirpet Consultant. Okay. If I am a working professional giving an interview, one of the interview question will be, you reported a bug to developer, developer rejected it. What you will do? So what you will do? You are also working, right? What you will do, sir? Smartly we have to behave. We should not give a face expression that I am not working. Right. Yes, online team member. Answer this question.
So we need to cross-check again and report to the lead.
We need to cross-check again. Right.
After that, report to the
Developer rejected your bug. Rejected meaning wanted, developer will reject it. There may be evidence or a reason. If I am a tester, what I will do? My bug is rejected by the developer. I'll cross-check my test case, test data, and SRS document. I cross-check with the requirement. Maybe I am wrong or developer may be wrong. Developer rejected meaning there will be a technical reason. Maybe I may be wrong. I was not understood the requirement maybe properly. So I cross-checked my requirement. I cross-checked. Yes, I made a mistake. It's a requirement, not a bug. I'll close the bug, correct? Remember, who reported a bug? Only the right person to close the bug. Who file a case? Only the right person to close the case, not the other people. The author of the defect, who reported a bug? Only the right person to close the defect. I reported, developer rejected. I cross-checked, yes, I made a mistake. I close the defect. Rejected defect, I'll close it. Other scenario. Developer rejected. I cross-checked. No, still I am correct. It is a bug only. After verifying the source document, requirement document, still I believe it's a bug. It's a bug. I reopened. He rejected, but I reopened. Now developer side, I rejected it. Tester again reopened, meaning there will be a strong reason from the tester. Again the developer also will have a cross check. Though I rejected, he reopened, meaning there will be technical evidence from the tester. Again they will have a cross check. Still the developer feel it is not a bug. Rejected. What you will do now? Again reopen.
No,
If you are reopening, he is
report to the
rejecting. You are reopening, he is rejecting. I will escalate the problem to my next level, lead. Immediately I don't escalate. From my end, I will try first. Because I have a strong evidence that it's a bug. I reopen. But still developer is not agreeing. Now I will escalate this problem to my next level, lead. Now your team lead will initiate a meeting called defect triage meeting. Defect? TRIAJ. Try meaning? 3 people. People from 3 departments. I escalate the problem to my team lead. My team lead initiate a meeting, defect triage meeting. Who are the participants of this meeting? First of all, when these kind of meetings are initiated, when there are some questions from between developers and testers, when there are some quarrels between developers and testers about the things, work progress, developer who is not accepting the bug, tester who is saying it is a bug, if you leave only these two people in the meeting room, what happens?
They will argue each other.
Right. You need a middleman, subject matter expert, domain expert, preferably BA. Because development lead will always support developer. QA lead will always support tester, not these two people. Business analyst, who has the clarity on the requirement. BA knows well about the requirement, right? This BA is the moderator for the meeting, organize the meeting. If I may BA organize this meeting, first I'll ask the tester, you prove how it is a bug. You explain how it is a bug. Tester will explain the story. After listening the tester version, I ask the developer, you prove how it is not a bug. Developer will explain the story, for this reason it is not a bug. After listening the developer version and tester version, these domain expert who has the clarity on the actual market requirement will make a decision whether it is a requirement or a bug. BA made a decision, it is a bug. You have to accept and close it, resolve it. It's not a bug, it's a requirement only. You have to close your defect. If really any discussions between developers and testers related to these defects requirement, periodically these kind of meetings are organized. Such meetings are generally named as defect triage meetings. Right. Hope understood, right? The other possibilities. A tester reported a new bug. Defect 9. In the about us space, background color is not consistent. No, I'm reading the defect description. Oh, yes. The background color is not in a consistent manner. High severity issue, low severity issue. Background color issue in about us space.
Low.
Severity. Okay. Only 2 days of time left in. Today Thursday, tomorrow Friday. Tomorrow evening we have a release. Only 2 days of time left in. Now what developer will do? Okay, let us postpone for the next sprint, next phase. Postpone. What do you mean by postpone? Defect agreed. It's a defect only, accepted. But considered for the second phase, next phase. Postpone meaning defect agreed, accepted. If no time to resolve it, developer may postpone the bug for the next phase. Remember, at any cost, high severity defect should not be postponed. High severity defects should not be postponed. UI issues, usability issues, light issues can be postponed when there is no time. Simply developer will not postpone. For every postponement of the bug, developer should explain the reason to his next level lead. I try to resolve. Really there is a tight schedule. No time available. That too it is a low impact bug. I can postpone. Postpone meaning defect is accepted but postpone to the next phase. In some companies, in place of postpone, they use a term deferred. Deferred, another English technical synonym. Deferred, nothing but simple name is postpone. Technical word is deferred. Open, some companies in place of a open, they use a word called in progress. In place of fixed, some company they use a word called resolved. Resolved fixed meaning is same. So it is English, there is no rule that we have to use only resolved word. You can also use fixed. In place of postponed, they may use a word called deferred. Deferred meaning postponed. New, open, fixed, closed, reopened, rejected, postponed, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Say, I'm a developer now. I received another new defect. I'm studying the defect I have received. No, it's not understandable to me. The defect what I have received is not clear to me. I need some more details about the bug. A tester reported a bug to me which is not understandable, not clear to me. As the bug is not clear, description not clear, I'm not able to understand what actually it is. Not agree. You are not disagreed. First of all, I didn't understood it. I need more details about it. Hold meaning temporary stop, pending. Immediately I contact the tester, I need some clarification about this defect and I'm not understanding it. Once I get the clarification from the tester, maybe accepted or rejected or postponed. It's a temporary status. When the bug will have a status called hold? If the developer need more details about the bug, when the bug is not understandable to the developer need more clarification. In that scenario, status can be maintained as hold. Clear? I received one more defect. What is this defect? Change password not working in admin module. So 2 days back, I received the same bug. Today, again, another tester reported the same bug. Already this bug in my database, again today I have received it. It is duplicated. Duplicate. What do you mean by duplicate? Yes, 2 days back, I received one bug from one tester. In Orange HRM application, reset password link is not working. One person concentrating on admin module, other person concentrating on employee module. For the two modules, login page is same. For the two modules, login page is same. Below the login page, we have a link called forget password. It's not working. First person posted a bug. Second person also posted the same bug. Already the bug available in the database, again I have received today. Status would be duplicate. Understand the point here? These are the different possible defect statuses. New, open, fixed, closed, reopen, rejected, postponed, hold, and duplicate. Hope you understood this, right? Connected topic, defect life cycle, I'll explain after this.
Sir, once you explain duplicate.
2 days back, I received one defect. Change password not working. Today, again, I received the same defect from the other team member. Already defect available in the database. Same defect again I have received. Same problem another person posted. Multiple people working on the same project testing, right? Other team member posted the same bug to me. It's already in the database, again repeated. Now I change the status to, update the status to duplicate. When I duplicated, the person who reported it will have a cross check. Yes, it is already in the database, they will close it. Right. Now, the other columns, detected by. See, multiple people working on this project. Last 1 month, 40 defects are identified till now. Defect 1, admin change password not working. Who identified this? We should have the name here, the team member name, tester name. For each defect, who identified defect 1? Who identified defect 2? Who identified defect 3? We should have the log. That is called tester name. When the problem is detected, identified, the date. In which version it is identified? Defect 1 identified in build number 1. Maybe defect 10 identified in build number 10, build number 2, say, sorry. In which build this is identified? We are working on multiple builds, right? First build, second build, third build, fourth build. In which build this problem was recognized? Build number. Assigned to developer name. For whom this problem is reported to resolve? Developer name. Fixed date. When the problem was rectified. Date of closure. Finally, when the problem was closed. Comment section we can use in different ways. Supposing while executing test case number 3, I encountered this bug. This defect belongs to test case number 3. Just for my reference, I can use like this. So this is about using the defect reporting template. Take some short notes about all important components of this template. I updated this document in our LMS yesterday. I already uploaded this document yesterday itself. Not only this, that test cases after execution also, I have uploaded. Right. Now you are accessing those files? Right.
We accessed.
Take some short notes about this template. I guess you do not require any notes for the first 3 columns, defect number, defect summary, and defect description. Take some notes about what is reproducible defect. Take it. Reproducible defect. Reproducible defect. Reproducible defect. So what do you mean by reproducible defect? If a defect is occurring every time, then it is called reproducible defect. I explained you what is the purpose of having this column in this template. Some problems may occur every time. Some defects may not occur every time. Better to inform the developer this problem coming every time. This problem is not coming every time. For that, we have a column in this template called whether it is reproducible or not, to say that. Take it. Reproducible defect. If a defect occurring every time, if a defect is occurring every time, then it is called, if a defect is occurring every time, then it is called reproducible defect. If a defect is occurring every time, then it is called reproducible defect. I guess you do not require any notes for reproducible steps. Steps to produce the bug. Take it. Defect severity. Defect severity. The impact of the defect, or how serious the defect is, called defect severity. Impact of the defect or how serious the defect is called defect severity. What are the various defect severities? What are the various defect severities? Tell me. Note on this. Very high, high, medium, low. Very high severity, medium severity, and low severity. These are the various possible defect severities. Very high, medium, then low. Okay? Who is the right person to decide the severity? Why only tester? We are testing the product in an end user point of view. We know the end user expectations well. You find some deviation. We know what is the impact of this problem to the customer. Hence, we are the right people to decide the severity. Make a note. Tester decides defect severity. Tester decides defect severity. Take the next one. Defect priority. Defect priority. Defect priority. So what do you mean by defect priority? Take it. The order in which defects to be resolved, the order in which defects to be resolved is called defect priority. The order in which defects to be resolved is called defect priority. What to be resolved first, what to be resolved next, what to be resolved next, that is called defect priority. Take it. Different defect priorities. Different defect priorities. What are the various defect priorities? List out them. Very high. The very high also can be mentioned as P0. High priority also can be represented as P1. Medium also can be represented as P2. Low, P3. Very high priority, medium priority, low priority. P0, P1, P2, P3. Make a note. Developer decides defect priority. Developer decides defect priority. Developer decides defect priority. See, how severity and priority is interconnected. Defect severity versus defect priority. Make a note. Defect severity and defect priority. How these two are interrelated. Sir, I said most of the cases both will be same. If the impact of the bug is huge, no doubt immediately it has to be resolved. Severity high, mostly priority also will be high. When the impact of the bug is less, programmer will take some time to resolve it. Severity low, priority also mostly would be low. But in one or two cases it may change. Take it. In most of the cases, defect severity and defect priority are directly proportionate to each other. Directly proportionate to each other. Meaning mostly would be the same. In most of the cases, severities and priorities are directly proportionate to each other. What do you mean by directly proportionate to each other? High severity will take high priority, low severity will have low priority. That is called directly proportionate to each other. But in some cases, this may change. but in some cases this may change. Okay? Right. Now here, in some cases this may vary, this may change. They are frequently asked entire question, let me give like this. The questions generally will be like this. Give an example for a defect that takes low severity but high priority. High severity, low priority, low severity but high priority. Take it. An example for a defect. An example for a defect which takes low severity but high priority. Which takes low severity but high priority. Severity wise low, but immediately need to be rectified.
Sir, once
Low
again.
severity but high priority. What is the example I have given? Logo not properly visible. This will not have any impact on usage of the system. So severity wise low. Impact is low. But immediately need to be rectified because otherwise client will say, my logo itself you killed. How you deliver a good product to me? Client mindset point of view, immediately the problem need to be rectified. Take it. Incorrect company logo. Incorrect company logo. Spelling mistake in company title. Spelling mistake in company title. This kind of problem, severity wise low, but immediately need to be rectified. Priority high. Similarly, take the next one. An example for a defect. An example for a defect which takes high severity but low priority. High severity but low priority. This is what I have explained earlier. Let's assume in our project we have two modules, module 1 and module 2. Our management committed to the client like this. This week, we are giving first version to the client only with module 1. Next week, we are releasing the second version to the client with module 1 and module 2 together. These are delivery shipment plan. Two modules already constructed. Test case also available. We are testing two modules together. We identified one minor issue in module 1, a major issue in module 2. Though it is a major issue, it belongs to next release. Another 1 week of time left in. Definitely high priority goes here. Programmer will fix it. Severity wise low, but priority high in this context. Severity high, but priority would be low in this situation because developer focus on module 1 defect because the immediate release is module 1. A major issue, major issue meaning severity high, belongs to future release module, not immediate release. Priority would be low. Take it. A major issue belongs to future release module. A major issue belongs to future release module. Right. Now here, defect status. Next column, defect status. Defect status. It indicates current status of the defect. It indicates current status of the defect. It indicates current status of the defect. So what are the various defect statuses? Note down this. Different defect statuses. Yes, what are the various defect statuses? New, open, fix,
Closed.
close,
Reopen.
reopen,
Rejected.
rejected,
Postponed.
postpone,
Hold.
hold,
Duplicate.
duplicate. Note on this. New, open, fix, close, reopen, rejected, postpone, hold, and duplicate. Let me explain a topic connected to this. Another must-asked interview question. 100% you receive this interview question. Explain defect life cycle or bug life cycle. Defect life cycle or bug life cycle. What do you mean by defect life cycle? Development life cycle meaning from beginning till the delivery of the product to the client, totally what are the stages, what are the activities. Testing life cycle meaning testing activities. Defect life cycle meaning from finding a bug new till closure of the bug. In between, what are the stages of a bug? If you explain, it is called defect life cycle or bug life cycle. Here I'll give one diagram. If you read the diagram, you get the answer for the question defect life cycle. It's must ask your interview question. Defect life cycle. Explain defect life cycle or bug life cycle. I'll give you a diagrammatic representation. A tester find a defect. Soon after a defect identified by the tester, these defect will be documented with the status called new. The status is new. Any defect beginning status would be new. All these new defects reported to developer. Developer verify, check the received defect. There are different possibilities here. If the defect is invalid, not a valid issue, the developer update the status to reject. The rejected defect will send back to the tester. We already discussed what tester will do. Tester will re-verify. During this defect analysis made by the developer, if the defect is valid, developer change the status to open. We'll discuss further. First, let us finish off the remaining possibilities during defect analysis made by the developer. If defect postpone to the next page. The developer update the status to postpone. I said at any cost, high severity defects should not be postponed. Low severity defect can be postponed with a proper reason if there is no time to resolve it. For every postponement of the bug, if I am postponing it, I am a developer, I should give the reason to my lead next level. For this reason, I am postponing it. Simply postponing, every developer will postpone the bugs. Right. If the defect information not clear to the developer, they change the status to hold. It's a temporary status. Developer will contact the tester, I need this clarification. Once they get the clarification, either accepted or rejected. Other possibility. Defect already reported. Again repeated. The status would be duplicate. These are the different possibilities during defect analysis made by the developer. Once it is done, now developer concentrate on fixing accepted bugs, open bugs. Open meaning accepted. Developer fix the open defect. Actually, they assign the priorities. Based on the priority, they start fixing the bugs. What to resolve first, what to resolve next. Then they start fixing the bug. Once a defect is resolved, they update the status to fixed. Once all defects are fixed by the developer, they create a modified build. They create a modified build because in order to fix a problem, they do some code changes, right? They compile a modified build. This modified build released to QA team. What we do now? It's not sufficient. Here, you check the defect is correctly fixed or not. There are two possibilities here. We test the reported defect is correctly fixed or not. If defect is fixed, true. We update the status to close. The defect is not correctly fixed, false. We update the status to reopen. This reopen defect will send back to the developer again for analysis. If you read this diagram, you get the answer for the question defect lifecycle. Take this diagram. You please observe here, all 9 statuses are covered. New, open, fix, close, reopen, rejected, postpone, hold and duplicate. With the reference of this diagram, will you be able to write a paragraph about it? A defect life cycle will explain all stages of a defect from its identification till its closure. Now you have to start explaining that once a tester finds a bug, the tester documents the bug with the status called new. All new bugs are reported to developer. The developer will verify the received bug. If it is valid, open, invalid, rejected. Defect can be postponed. The defect information not clear, developer will hold it. The defect already reported, again repeated, duplicated. Once the analysis made by the developer start fixing the bug. Once a bug is resolved by the developer update the status called fixed. Once all bugs are fixed, developer compile a modified version, give it to QA team for retesting. QA team perform retesting. If the defect is already correctly resolved, close. Not correctly resolved, reopen. After retesting, QA team perform regression testing on the modified version. If any new defects or side effects are identified, again documented with the status new, same process will continue until all defects are closed. Now, will you able to document this paragraph or you wanted notes? I am comfortable for anything. Notes meaning same diagram I have to explain again.
Notes.
Notes required?
Not required, sir. We can understand by seeing the bit chart.
If you explain the diagram, you get the answer for the question defect life cycle. Or just I'll start
Not
like
required, sir.
okay. Better you start like this. Take it. A defect life cycle will explain. Defect life cycle will explain various stages of a defect. Various stages of a defect from its identification till its closure. From its identification till its closure. From its identification till its closure. Next paragraph. Maybe another 5 minutes I'll give the notes as one of the must ask interview question. First one statement I given. Defect life cycle will explain various stages of a defect from its identification till its closure. Now you have to explain all the stages one by one. Next paragraph. Soon after a defect identified by the tester, this defect will be documented. This defect will be documented with the status new. With the status new. Underline the new. What is new I explained here. Okay? So any defect identified, initial status would be new. Tester update the status called new. Continuation. All new defects reported to developer. All new defects reported to developer. Reported to developer. Continuation. Developer verify receiver defect is valid or not. Receiver defect is valid or not. If valid, developer open the defect. Underline open. If valid, developer open the defect. If the received one is valid one, developer will open the defect. Underline open. This is the second status. If invalid, developer reject the defect. Developer reject the defect. Underline reject. Continuation. For any reason, if the defect postponed to the next phase, status updated as postponed. Status updated as postponed. For any reason, defect is postponed to the next phase, status gets updated as postponed. Continuation. If defect information not clear, developer hold the defect. If the status is hold, underline hold. Developer hold the defect. One more. If defect already reported, developer update the status as duplicate. Developer update status as duplicate. Developer update status as duplicate. Here I explain what are the various statuses during defect analysis made by the developer. Next paragraph. Once this analysis completed, developers start fixing the defect. Soon after a defect is resolved, defect status changed to fixed. A defect status will be changed to fixed. When the problem is resolved by the developer will update the status as fixed. Continuation. Once all defects are fixed, developer compiles a modified build. Creates a modified build, release it to QA team. Next paragraph. What we do now? First we do retesting, then we do regression testing. Next paragraph. QA team perform retesting on the modified build meaning we check the reported bug is correctly resolved or not. Retesting on the modified build to confirm reported defects are correctly resolved or not. QA team perform retesting on the modified version to confirm reported defects are correctly resolved or not. If resolved, tester close the defect. Underline close. Not properly resolved. Not properly resolved. Tester reopen the defect. Next paragraph. If any new defects identified in the modified build, if any new defects identified in the modified build, any new defects identified in the modified build, so if any new problems identified in the modified version, they will be documented. They will be documented with the status new. They will be documented with the status new. And the same process will be continued. And the same process will be continued till all defects are closed. Till all defects are closed. See, generally, when all defects are closed, if all test cases are passed, we stop testing and deliver the product to the client for user acceptance. So this is the last phase of STLC, test closure. Note it. Test closure. Test closure or when to stop testing. Test closure. Test closure or when to stop testing. In software testing lifecycle, test planning, test analysis, test design, test execution, bug reporting, last stage is test closure, nothing but when to stop testing. When we stop testing, we have created, let us say, 100 test cases for testing a product. In the first build, all 100 test cases are executed. 80 passed, 20 failed. We reported. One more build, one more build, one more build, one more build, one more build. In build number 10, recent build number 10, all test cases status pass. All bug status is closed. There is nothing to do. We stop testing and deliver the product. Test cases are prepared to confirm the requirement. Test cases pass many requirements are justified. No bugs. All defects are closed. Make a note. We stop testing. We stop testing when the following conditions are met. When the following conditions are met. We stop testing when the following conditions are met. What are the conditions? Number one, if all prepared test cases are executed successfully and pass. All test cases are executed successfully and pass. If all test cases are passed, there is nothing to do. All requirements are justified. Second condition. If all defects are closed. If all defects are closed. All identified bugs are resolved. You retested, closed. There are no defects in open status. There are no defects in new status. Everything is closed. There is nothing to do. We stop testing. So this is all about software testing process. Your management plan the work, allocate the work to you. You understand the requirement, write scenario, write test cases, execute test cases. Defects identified will be documented and reported to development team. Developer give the modified version, we do retesting and regression testing. These process will continue until all defects are closed. If all defects are closed, we stop testing. Right. I stop here today, and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I introduce you database testing topic. I introduce you what is database testing. I teach you SQL select statement, which is used to fetch the data from any database application. Okay? Thank you. We continue tomorrow. Thank you, online team. We continue tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.